Coldcock American Whisky. Cold. Cock.
Sponsored by
Coldcock. All right, welcome back, everyone. Doug here with thelincolnlist.com for Happy Hour episode number 15, where we're going to drink some Coldcock American Whiskey. America! We're going to talk a little bit about stocks, and we're going to talk about getting cold cocked. Have you ever been cold cocked? I have, so we're going to talk about it. Now, this is just not cold cocked American whiskey. It's American Herbal Whiskey. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put the picture up. Let's get the glasses out. We're going to venture to their website, talk a little bit about this. Interesting thing about Coldcock is it doesn't come from the beautiful island of Skye, or the island of Mull, or it's a highland or a lowland. Nope. It is right here in good old San Diego, California. God bless them. I can go right down there, get myself a little Coldcock. Anyway, it says Coldcock is an American herbal flavored whiskey with a green tea flavor, hibiscus, ginger, eucalyptus, and many more. So I guess this is like a whiskey. You know, we talked about it in this last couple when we did the honey one. I think it was Honey Dewars, if I remember right. And I was like, I don't like crap in my whiskey. It's kind of like my coffee, you know. I don't put sugar and cream in the coffee because I love coffee and I want to taste the coffee. It's kind of like the whiskey. You want to taste the whiskey and the alcohol and that. But this seems like it's a bourbon. They say, let's see, it's an American bourbon blended with herbs including green tea, hibiscus, ginger, eucalyptus, and many more. So I guess this is just like sprouts with liquor in it or something like that. I don't know if that has any health benefits. When infused, great tasting herbs in your bourbon. It completely takes away the whiskey burn but leaves you with a whiskey taste. Well, we're going to find out. Anyway, it says their motto is take a shot. Take a shot is their actual logo. But it says, call them old-fashioned, but they still believe hard work is the path to true reward and the celebration that is earned with it. That is why our shareholders aren't share traders on some faceless stock exchange. Hey, that's rude. That is rude. They're calling us faceless? We've got faces. They might be rough. They might be ugly, grizzled, curmudgeonish. But we got faces. So they don't like that. They don't like the stock exchange. Their shareholders are people that share themselves on stages around the world every night. Now, you saw the intro. They definitely like music. They love music. They got a couple of sponsored bands. So how about we get into some Coldcock American whiskey? Kind of a nice labeling, huh? It looks dark, looks mean. Got a fist right there on the front. Oh, man, gosh. You know what? My first impressions of smelling it is like Thunderbird or an MD 2020 with mouthwash. That's what it's like. Maybe like a green tea, like if you put green tea in a glass and then poured mouthwash in it. I hope it's not blue. That's weird. Like you sniff 3 or 4 more times, it smells like actual burning alcohol. Let's see look at that. It's like, you see how that pours? You probably can't see it, but it came out like really, like a syrup. Come on, Coldcock, don't let us down. I'm going to hold it up here. You probably can't see it. It is very, very dark to this, and a little murky. You know, when you're looking at other scotches, they're usually clear. It's just a little bit murky. Not bad, though. Let's see what kind of legs we have on this bad boy. It says it's 70 proof alcohol. Now, 70 proof, not bad. 70 proof is not bad. But you would think with the bald head, tattoos, the heavy metal music, we could get like 100, right? I mean, we look like we're like ready to do some fighting when we drink some Coldcock. I mean, you got a fist on the front of your bottle. Shouldn't you give us like 150 or something? I mean, if you're going to get Coldcock, I expect to drink Coldcock and just fall right over. 70 proof. Come on, Coldcock. Get your game on. I'm going to drink this. I'm very tentative. I'm kind of like buying my time not to drink this. I keep sniffing it because I'm afraid. Okay, let me just man up. Let me get Coldcock. It tastes like cough syrup, like Robitussin. I'd much rather have the whiskey burn. It's kind of like, I snorted a herb. Let me have another one. Now that it got a chance to sit for a while, not for a while, a few seconds, it tastes like there's a little bit of that honey in there. Like honey. So I would say this. If you are prickly about your whiskey, you know, you're pretentious, you drink it with one finger out, maybe smoke a cigar, you want to brag to your bros and your buddies and your female friends about how awesome of a whiskey aficionado you are, you probably don't want this in your cupboard. If you're new to whiskey, though, they are right that there isn't the burn in there. It's good. So it's like if you're looking for a sweet flavored whiskey, something we talked about with honey dewars. Again, that's not my fad, but that might be yours. I can't blame you. If you like it, you like it. Who am I, right? Like, what the hell do I know about whiskey? I mean, I'm so biased to just scotches from the Isle of Islay and the surrounding areas. So I'm going to rate this as pretty good. I would think this was better than like the Finlaugen, because that was just like really was down there. I think it might even be a little bit better than, it's definitely better than the Dewar's Honey. If that's along the line. So if you're looking for a whiskey, a starter whiskey where you can drink it and it doesn't have that burning aftertaste. Again, I like that. But if you don't want that burn, you want something that goes down nice and smooth. It actually tastes decent. You know, now that it's just like sitting in, I'm going to give it like another, like up a star here because, yeah, it's kind of fruity now. Like maybe it's just the Coldcock. Now I wouldn't go as far as calling it Coldcock. You know, Coldcock is a vicious name. Like Coldcock, right? Fist on it, a black bottle. It's mean. Their perception of these videos, mean. The company's mean. It's the spirit of like aggression. So you should have it should be stronger alcohol. This should be like partially cocked, not cold cocked. Just like bitch slapped, for a lack of a better phrase. Anyway, Coldcock whiskey, not too bad. Sitting in there, it's a nice little sweet whiskey if you're looking for a nice little libation that is sweet and smooth with no burn, that you could chat with your friends and enjoy. Not too bad. So let's talk about, since we're talking about Coldcock, you guys ever been cold-cocked? I have. Now for you foreigners, if you don't know what the expression here in America is about Coldcock. Coldcock is when you just get clocked, like punched, like just out of nowhere. And well, that started out like that, where you just got punched out of nowhere, like sucker punch, and boom, you're just clocked. Well, it's also referred to as an expression where everything in your life seems to be just hunky-dory and dandy, and you're just cruising through, and it's like, geez, you know, this is a really beautiful day. And then all of a sudden, bam, something comes up. Like you're just cruising down the road, like, oh, look at the trees and the bird, and boom, you like run over someone. Or you like get hit. Oh, I got cold-cocked, right? Or you're just like sitting at the bar, chilling, you know, trying to get a lady's number. Hey, baby. And then her boyfriend comes around, like, poof, right in the face. And you don't even see it. And you're out like a light. Cold-cock. Now, the reason I bring up the word cold-cock is we've all been there. And when we talk about trading, somehow we try to take this little skit and move it into trading. This is one of the things that makes trading so difficult for people. And this is not something that you're going to see on social media where it's so prevalent, people admitting getting cold cocked. And this, as I said, is a challenging piece of someone's trading because they feel that when it happens to them, it just happens to them only. But this is one of the things that is, I think, is one of the bigger drawbacks of trading. I wouldn't say drawbacks, it makes it so difficult to succeed at. And that is, you can be doing very well in your trading. Things can be going very well, or a trade that you're in appears to be going very well. And because the market is what it is, and it has so many variables to it, anything at any time could come out of nowhere and completely ruin your day. Just like that. That's the challenging part with trading is 1 minute you can be here and the next minute you can be here. Now, as time progresses and you start out with your trading, it's like those days are like one good day, one tough day, one good day, one tough day, good day, one. It's like back and forth. And as you get better, you still have those moments where things fall apart, but it just happens a lot less. So even the best traders you look up to, the most professional traders, we all go through cycles. Like I've said before, I've been in this trading game now for 16 years. It was real terrible at the beginning. And since 2005, I've been very consistent. I've made money every year since then. But there's still moments where things come by and you're like, God, you caught me off guard. There's only so much you can do. So what I'm saying is, one of the challenging things about trading, where it really digs to your frustration and angers you, is that sudden change of balance. Now, it's gotten a lot better over the last couple of years, as the markets become more computerized. You don't see some of the wilder swings, but still, we've talked about it in these past whiteboard lessons with stuff like, hit pieces, earnings releases in the afternoons, low floats blowing up people's accounts, certain tweets from your upcoming administration. These put stresses sometimes on the market and you will see wild moves. And as long as there's a market and it is the way it is, there will always be wild moves and unpredictability. And that's what makes it so challenging. So you know what? You can't even call yourself a trader unless you've gotten cold cocked a couple of times because that's how you learn. So enough of that. Let's move on to something more productive here. Let's talk about some stocks. Kind of like where it was last week. It's slow. It is slow. I'm not getting cold cocked. I'm getting partially cocked at the moment. So we'll take a look at it here. Let's pull up some charts. Let's just get some charts. Okay. As I was saying before, which I may not have said before at all, I don't remember now, but this market is going through an identity crisis. This whole 20K thing. Are we going to do 20K or we're not going to do 20K? Are we going to do 20K or we're not going to do 20K? We got a little bit of selling from the Trump speech. You got this whole flush, but just like the Brexit before it, just like the election itself, these little flushes just have been opportunities to buy stock. That's all they have been because nothing has stuck to the downside, period. And each and every one of them get shorter in duration. Like I said, when we had Brexit, we had 2 days of selling. The election, 1 day. An election, a speech, and a morning, the morning, that's it, just the morning. And then back, you're screaming back up there. And now you're going to be back to that 20K talk. It has to be one of the more annoying things because it's been floating around 20K since the beginning of December. It doesn't sound like a long time a month, but it has been inundated with news and tweets and garbage like that. So it's, it just seems like it's going to do it. It's just win. And it's creating some days to be very dull and grindish, which I don't like. Maybe there are traders out there who are just loving it. They're loving it. Like, oh, I love this market. But for me, no, I don't like it that way. I want to see a little bit more volatility. Of course, when you go back and you look, Thursday would have been my biggest day of trading in the volatility. So let's kind of move on and look at a couple of trades because we're kind of like gapping and hanging, ramp and camp. We've ramped and we've camped out at these high prices. Even though the market's showing some overbought indicators, it still has not let go or stayed in a selling environment. One I want to look at is DXCM. This is we saw two of these kind of plays, like a STRP, S-T-R-P, which I won't bring up the chart there. But anyway, there was some overhanging problems. They cured those problems, and boom, these stocks just went nuts. Now, STRP, S-T-R-P, actually sold off when it gapped up. This one decides, hey, you know, I'm going to run forever. And that's kind of what it did here on Friday, just ramped. There was a couple of good spots here for some shorts, but these things have been tough lately. Anyway, you've got to move 25% on the day. The stock's up over 20-some dollars. It's really hard to get behind this thing bullish if you're expecting immediate returns in your money, because it's going to take some time for this move to get digest. This is a monstrous move for a stock like this. If there's some way there's euphoria or a push in this thing starting out Monday, I would gladly short this thing again. If it fades or anything like that from the open, I'm not interested. It'll probably end up being a better dip buy, because just as the market hasn't sold off, most of the stocks, when they start getting any momentum to the downside, they just stop, they quit, and they base out and then continue to run. So we'll watch some DXCM. Also Tesla. Now, I like Tesla as a stock. I like Tesla as a company. I imagine myself one day driving an actual Tesla. And if they make a truck, Tesla, you make a truck, I will buy it the first day it is available for purchase. I love the electric car concept, and so many people don't, but I do. And I like Tesla. On the other side, this thing has gone nuts. I mean, it's 180 to 237 in a short period of time. Like, you can see how sharp this rally has been. And a big move on this thing. It probably is better short here than it is a long. Like I was saying with DXCM, if you're looking to invest your money into something and you're looking for a return, this is not where you're right now in the short term. You're not going to see anything on that if you're bullish. You should wait for a pullback, something to come back to the moving average. Wait for it to settle down, because you're going to have some profit taking come into a move like this. It's huge. And you know, it's ran up before. It's got cult-like status. It's done that, and I'm cool with that. But if it gets too crazy Monday morning, like it did on Friday, where it went vert like this, I'd look to capture a nice little short on that. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. It's up a lot. Got a big move today, so if it's able to kind of build on that thing, moving into I keep saying Monday, and I just realized Monday is a holiday. You guys are probably saying that to yourself. Hey man, Monday's a holiday. Must be the Coldcock. Let's talk about the pood. Everybody got a pood, right? This is just another one of these. Let me rip to the moon. I was thinking today, on Friday, that we'd see a nice move to 45.57. It was almost close. I was like, just launch up there and I'll short into the resistance. It didn't quite make it. I'd like to see that move get done on Monday. So get up there and kind of perk up there and do a nice little short. These little bios and other types of companies been hot. Even though Trump came out and said they want to regulate drug prices, no worries. These stocks just keep on going up. So put the pood on your list. Same can be said for Clovis. This thing is like a mini little Tesla. It's a beast. Now, it's definitely made a bigger percent move. I shouldn't say mini Tesla. I should say Tesla is a mini Clovis, because percent-wise, Clovis has made the bigger move. But pretty strong. Look at this thing. 37s to 55s in a short period of time here since, about Christmas. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And it got vertical here the last 2 days, coming off the 10 moving average from 47s to 50, touched about 58. Now, we did a short in this. It's the kind of like, and when I'm saying, the reason I'm bringing it up is because this is what we look for. It's not when a stock is just up. Like I don't short this right here. That's not up. This I do. You can see the difference with your eye. How vert, the ramp, the para. This was a good spot, and it was a good trade. But I haven't seen so many of these this week at least give up the ghost like this. But not too bad if Clovis can build on that, do a little bit better. I'd like to short that too. And I think what's overall another short here, just a short idea, maybe even on a swing, is Win. Win can't hold a gain to save itself. Anything that comes out on Win and pops it, it is sold off within an hour. I mean, this thing has just been battered. It got a nice little bounce after this longer term downtrend. You see, we've talked about it before. I got lines drawn everywhere. But it had a good fade going on. The year starts, market's all bullish, and there's all this optimism going around, and everybody's drinking it all up. And it comes up to 95 and just pivoting back down. I mean, right now, this is a confirmed higher low. I mean, lower high, excuse me, lower high. And it looks like it's going to cycle back down to here. So it's probably got some room, I think, on every kind of pop or something. This is a short until it can actually hold and keep one. And I think that's going to do it for the stock. I don't have any other stocks. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to this week's episode where we enjoyed some Coldcock. I think I should have another swig. And as I said, it's a pretty good starter whiskey. It's not too bad. Now that I've drank a whole shot, my friends from San Diego and their hardcore metal upbringing, I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot. If you're looking for, like I said, a smooth, sweet, it is a sweet tasting whiskey. So give it a try. Give it a try. I would expect it goes for about $30, somewhere in that neighborhood. $30 or less for a bottle. Get yourself some Coldcock whiskey. And remember, when you're trading, you're going to get cold-cocked. It's going to happen. That's part of the learning process and part of the steps that you have to take to do this thing. It's not always going to be freaking fantastic. It's not even going to be close. You're going to have your ups and down days. And I've tried to make that clear before. And what I have been saying without just ranting, because I don't even remember where I've been blabbering about later. But when people ask me, what was the difference between your amateur days and your professional days? And the only thing it was cleaning up a few things. The same situations, the same scenarios that happened when I was an amateur, that threatened me as an amateur, those same scenarios threatened me as a professional. It was just the way I handled them. It was just through experience, getting cold-cocked a few times, losing money, taking the bumps, and then learning from it and growing. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So, you guys need some help trading? You know where to find me. Visit thelincolnlist.com. Episode number 16, maybe we'll have something good in store. I've said a few times before, guys, if you have something you want me to talk, you got a whiskey you want me to review, you got a topic that you want me to discuss throughout this happy hour, just shoot me an email, support@thelincolnlist.com. Till then, I'm all out of the sweet-tasting cold-cock. Don't get yourself cold-cocked, but get some cold-cock whiskey, but don't get yourself personally cold-cocked. Cheers to you. Talk to you next week. Coldcock!